Hi everyone, welcome back to part 3 of TemTem. Last episode we went ahead and went to Brical de Mar as well as Arsola. The main reason for making our way to Arsola is to go ahead and challenge the dojo master who's called Sophia. We have met her in the very first episode. Unfortunately, the dojo doorman actually told us that she made her way to Wimford Castle or Winford Fort, which is where we are gonna go next. I'm kind of a bit suspicious. Something might have gone wrong, so I do have to be a bit careful. In today's episode, I'll be going ahead and exploring the Gifted Bridges, which is the pathway towards Winford Fort, and try to catch any new TemTems that are on the way. I'll also go ahead and battle all of the tamers and try to level up my team members a bit more. As you can see, most of them are around level 12 to 14. I believe this is good enough for this route. Well, here we have our first two tamers for today. Gifted Bridges is a pretty long route. As far as I remember, it is quite zigzaggy and does actually take a long time to explore. I believe this video actually took me around 45 minutes to complete. This is just me running back and forth in between as well. Now in Arsola, you do have a new item that is being introduced. It's actually called a smoke bomb, and this will actually help you a lot when you are going back and forth trying to heal up your team members. What the smoke bomb does is that once you use it, you are immediately teleported back to the nearest emporium. So if you are en route and maybe you're halfway there, if you use the smoke bomb from there, you'll be sent back to Arsola where the Temporium is. This is quite helpful and does save a long time. I personally have used smoke bombs a lot in my previous playthrough, so I'm pretty happy that these items are available now here. It will actually help me in this pathway itself. Right here it seems that this trainer actually is pretty tough. As you can see, my side part is almost going down. I did decide to switch out into Saku. This is actually the fully evolved TemTem that I own, the only one right now. As for the others, I believe they will actually evolve around the 3rd or the 4th region. But of course, that is all on this battle. The one good thing is that I believe we don't really have any new TemTems right here, at least at the beginning of Gifted Bridges. But there are a couple of newer ones that are coming up. I think I'll focus more on the tamers right now before I try searching for the TemTems. Here's another pair. Both of the TemTems are fully evolved. I'm really not sure how they were able to find these TemTems, considering that we never find them. But I guess it's just their luck. Either way, I'm still able to do pretty good damage. I'm being a bit careful on the moves that I am using. Hopefully I'll be able to defeat both of these TemTems without too much issue. Hochik is the only higher level TemTem that I do own for now. Hopefully it becomes much stronger. If you might remember, Hochik doesn't really have that good of a defense or special defense stats. I'm actually not that big of a fan of a TemTem without good stats for defense and special defense. But this is what I chose, so we definitely have to try and keep it going. We have one more TemTem left. I'm pretty sure Hochik will go down, and that's the reason why I decided to switch out. Saku does have a poison type TemTem move, which should be much helpful. As for the names of most of these moves, I am unable to pronounce them, so I'm just gonna not try that. But if anyone in the comment section can actually pronounce them, let me know. It will be pretty interesting. There you go, these are the second two tamers. The only part that I didn't really like is the fact that you don't really get that much of a money in this game, even after battling so many of these tamers. It's pretty difficult. This is the reason why I rely on all of the items that are found randomly throughout this route. I really thought this NPC is a tamer as well, but apparently not. She's a historian. Let's go to the next one. Here we have Kareem. I'm really not sure why some of these NPCs have names and other ones don't. This one actually has a name, but the last couple of people that we just battled, they were called tamers. The naming convention is a bit weird in this one. Right here, Whiplump is actually the evolution of one of the TemTems that we have seen before. But it is 4 times weak to electric TemTems, so we are able to quickly defeat it. There we go. This pathway here is a bit zigzag, and I believe we have a lot more grass around. It's pretty easy to encounter TemTems. There is another item called Scent, which you can actually use to reduce the encounters. In my case, that is what I did. But we also found a newer one here, which is called Sky. I'm just gonna go ahead and catch it. It's the TemTem in the left. Although I won't be really using it in my team, I'm just trying to complete my Pokédex equivalent to whatever it is in this game. Unfortunately, I have still no idea what it's called. As for Tateru, I guess I should have switched into my starter, Hochik. It would have done a lot more damage in this one. That is what I did right here. Let me go ahead and use Kick, because why not? Ooh, it still survived. That's pretty bad. I'm actually keeping Saipat up in front to just level it up. It seems to be leveling up pretty fast. Now that I have defeated Tateru, it's time for me to go ahead and use Tem cards to catch Kyle. I believe that is how it's pronounced. It is also a normal TemTem, at least that is what I believe. Unfortunately, it broke out both of the Tem cards, so I do have to try and bring its health down a bit more. It also seems that the TemTems themselves are a bit tougher to catch in this game. As you can see, even though it's the beginning of the game, I'm unable to catch this TemTem with just a bit of health down. If I have to compare it with Pokemon games, I believe Pokemons are way easier to catch than these TemTems. Either way, this has brought it down to really good health. Let me go ahead and try using a couple of more Tem cards. I'm actually running out of it. Definitely need to save a couple more. Usually I do find random Tem cards laying around in the route, but at some point we definitely have to go back to the shop and buy some more. At this point I decided to go ahead and heal up my TemTems. Most of them are either dead or most of them are completely hurt. There we go, I am back. Let me go ahead and challenge the next tamer. The encounter on this route is pretty bad, considering that we have so much grass around. Let me quickly go ahead and run away from this battle. Thankfully, we were able to do that as well. Right, let me go ahead and... Ooh, never mind. I actually did not challenge that tamer for some reason. I might go back in the game and just challenge that tamer right there. Ooh, this one actually has once more a evolved Pokemon. Baharak is super powerful, but I'll be able to use electric type moves against it. I must say this game is definitely pretty fun. It also seems that we are halfway through the route. After all, I did skip one of the tamers, whom I'll be going back at some point. For now, I'm focusing on taking down Saipat. As all of these battles are actually double battles, I feel that I have to focus on one TemTem at a time. That's the only way to easily defeat all of these tamers. If I do try to just randomly attack both of them, it tends to kind of hurt my TemTems more than theirs. That is definitely not a good strategy. Either way, we were able to defeat this tamer right here. Moving on forward, I'm also trying to kind of see if there are any kind of sparkling on the ground. This is mainly to get the stickers for the quest that we just accepted in the last episode. Here are two more. Giovan's Suitor A and B. I am really not sure what the reference here is, but that is a very weird naming convention. Either way, they both have the same TemTem, which is kind of ironic considering that they are suitors. Aleolai. Alright, it's time for me to definitely try and defeat them. They're quite annoying and do know a lot of poison type moves, which is a bit difficult for me to deal with. Going on with the next one. Ooh, a 2-eye. I'm just trying different strategies for double battling at this point and seeing which one actually works well. I think I'll go with focusing on one TemTem for each round. That does work out pretty good. Now we have two 2-eyes in the field. At least I was able to one-shot it, which is good. This actually shows how weak 2-eye is in its pre-evolution form. I believe once you do evolve this TemTem, it does get super powerful. It also gets a second typing, which is pretty helpful as well. If you might remember, or if you do not, 2-eye is actually equivalent to Eevee, where you'll be able to evolve it into different dual typings. I believe there are around 5 of them. We have water, melee, earth, digital, and probably nature. I believe these are the 5 different that you can actually evolve it into. But evolving it is also quite the challenge, because you can't really go ahead and just evolve it in a location. There are different temples for each of these evolution pathlines. You would have to go through all of these different temples, defeat the trainers who are over there, who by the way are super powerful, and then you will get access to a smaller area where you'll be able to evolve your 2-eye. Personally, I actually did not evolve my 2-eye in my previous playthrough. I did have it around level 45. The main reason for it was that I was only able to encounter the Earth Temple and the Air one. As for the others, I guess it comes later on in the game, almost at the end. So it's better that you switch out 2-eye if you do not want to kind of evolve it right away. Now right here we did encounter a new TemTem called Platypus. It's another one that I actually used in my previous playthrough. It's part water and toxic typing. It was super nice, and I believe it was one of the first TemTems that fully evolved. Unfortunately, I'll not be using it in this playthrough, but I definitely want to catch it to record its data. I believe this is the beginning of us trying to find all of the other water TemTems as well. Once we do defeat Sophia, I believe we get the item surfboard to kind of go ahead and catch the other water TemTems. So if you do not want to add one to your team right away, I would recommend skipping this one. You can definitely just catch it for the data and then go ahead and keep it in the box. See what other water TemTems you can actually find and then decide if you want to actually use this one. Either way, I was able to catch it the second time. I believe this is the only TemTem I have in this route. There might be another one, but it is quite rare. So I will actually leave its encounter to Winford Fort. That's where we'll be able to find it as well. For now, it seems that all of my team members are at level 16 other than Hochik. So I might go ahead and try to level up my starter here. There we go, we have another tamer. Most of these tamers are optional. As you might have seen, I did skip one of them. But this one is pretty interesting. He has only one TemTem and it's actually a Saipat, which I believe will be able to take down in one turn. First one is Hochik, which did almost half damage. And for the second one, I went with Chain Lightning. I believe Chain Lightning is a pretty tough move. I wouldn't recommend using it the way I am using right here, especially considering the fact that it can be deadly to my own TemTems. I might have to switch out that move once it actually learns a newer one. At this point, Hochik actually learned a new move, which is super helpful. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it learn that. The other good thing in this game is that you can actually switch out moves of your TemTems pretty easily by just going into the menu and selecting the TemTem itself. This will actually avoid me, I guess, going around and waiting to get to a Temporium to try and do that. Now here is a tamer with a Banshee, which is a TemTem that I'm trying to find. I believe we had a quest that we just accepted, which needs a Banshee to complete it. Banshee is a Pokemon that I'll be able to find in, once again, Wingford Fort. All I have to do is make my way to the top. For now, unfortunately, I won't be able to defeat it with the TemTems that I have up in front. It actually needs a electric TemTem as it's 4 times weak against it. But unfortunately, my Genki is actually knocked out. So I might have to try and use my other TemTems for this turn. We also see Crystal, which is the first time I'm actually seeing a NPC or a tamer use it. Crystal is one of the other starter that we have seen before in Professor's lab. Alright, I guess it's time for me to go ahead and take down Banshee. There we go. Paharo should be pretty easy considering that it is not yet evolved. It's definitely the equivalent of the generic flying type Pokemon and the first routes that you'll be able to find in each and every game. Either way, there we go. We have defeated this tamer as well. These battles have definitely been a bit more tougher than I expected. But of course, we are definitely doing pretty good progress. Right here, I was able to find a sticker which is pretty nice. At some point, I'm just going to show how to actually attach those stickers into the book that we received for the quest itself. Right here, we also have 2 different items. I'm quickly going to go ahead and pick them up. We have 2 more tamers here as well. A tourist and a visitor. I guess all of these tamers are actually making their way to Wingford Fort, which is actually a castle that's sitting on top of a cliff. I think it's super cool. But that is also where we are going next. Ooh, these 2 actually have pretty powerful TemTems. Let me try and focus on one of them for now. And there we go. Let me quickly see which is the other TemTem they do have and then decide on focusing. Ooh, I think I'll be able to take down the Kaku in one turn. Let me try that out. There we go. It seems that Saku and Saipat is actually a pretty good team. They go well with each other, especially because of their typings, and are able to do way good damage than other ones. As for now, I'm just going to try and focus on Piranhant. It is a part water. I'm not really sure if it's dual typing because I've yet to catch one. But we were at least able to take it down in one hit. Let me quickly go ahead and defeat the Kaluzu. Now this is the TemTem I was talking about, whose evolution we have seen before as well. It's super powerful, and also another water TemTem which you'll be able to find in this area. Moving on, I'm definitely taking way more damage than I thought I would. This mainly might be because of the fact that I only have 4 TemTems that I'm using. But we are actually quite close to the next healing center, so I'm not gonna go back all the way to Arzola. It's way too far at this point. Ooh, this one actually has a Banshee. This is not good. It does resist most of these Saipings. The only thing that I can actually help is by reviving my Genki and trying with that. Let me try using Sharp Leaf and use Saipat's turn to revive. There we go. I did remember having 2 revives, so that is pretty helpful. Right here, Banshee uses the move Bamboozle, which actually makes 100% sure that it evades my moves for at least 1 turn. This is actually annoying. All it does is avoid me taking it down much faster. Unfortunately, Saipat did go down right here. I might be able to go ahead and go into Genki and try using a electric type move. This is something I should have done from the beginning, but oh well. Let's see if we are able to take it down here. There we go. Pretty cool. Alright, I believe we only have 1 more tamer left, who should be right next to the healing center, so I'm not too worried about that. In fact, let me quickly go ahead and actually heal up my TemTems before I challenge any other tamer. I feel that that would be for the better. And ooh, alright, here we go, healing up my TemTems. And I'm also able to go ahead and deposit these 2 back in the box. These are only the TemTems that we are able to find for the first 3 locations. There might be 1 more which I have skipped, but I'll be able to catch it in the next coming area. So I don't really have to worry about that right now. Here we have a NPC. I thought that I'll be able to battle her, but I guess not. Here's the next one, Gabriel the Grey. He is wearing grey, but I wonder what the reference is to once more here. He has pretty tough TemTems. I might have to be a bit more careful on this one. Now, I really wanted to use Chain Lightning, but unfortunately I have Ho-Chick on the field and I really can't do that. As for defeating his team members, I did pretty good damage on 1 at least. Hopefully Genki doesn't go down here. There we go. Let me go ahead and focus on the second one. Now this is where I actually made a mistake. I went with Chain Lightning on the second TemTem instead of the first one. And as you can see, Ho-Chick went down here. That's pretty bad. Let me switch out into Saku. I really should be more careful on using that move. But at least this turn, I'll be able to take down both of his TemTems, even though Genki does go down. There we go. Saku does get all of the XP from that and levels up to level 19. I believe that is the highest level right now. Usually when I do play either Pokemon game or TemTem, I really like to keep all of my Pokemons or TemTems in the same level as much as possible. I really hate it when one of my team member is in a lower level than the other. I might try out to, I guess, level up my other team members at this point. Here is the second one. I'm not gonna waste time talking to him. I believe just stemming up is better. Ooh, he has 2 Paharaks, which is a bit tougher to defeat. Let's see if we are able to do some kind of damage at least. In the very first turn, I decided to go ahead and switch out my Ho-Chick. I feel that Saku is way better to deal with this. And thankfully, Chain Lightning is doing way better damage on this one. It also doesn't seem to hit Saku, which is pretty helpful. Oh, at least one of the TemTems are down. And the second one, never mind. I really thought it was gonna go down right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and try using Chain Link again. See if that does way more damage. It seems that all of these TemTems are actually becoming more higher in level the more further we go. I might have to train up my own at some point, but for now I am just gonna leave it at that. Alright, we're actually way closer to Winford Fort, and I think this is the point where I have to end out this episode. In the next one, we are gonna go ahead and explore Winford Fort, which is gonna be super exciting. We have some boss battles coming up, so I'm really excited for that. Either way, hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you did, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you all in the next one.